Hi everyone, I'm Alex with Wide Awake Travels. I'm excited because today our diesel heater arrived and I'm gonna do an unboxing right now for you. This diesel heater is made by this new company called Lavaner. The model we got was the 5Kw Pro version. So they have a standard 2Kw and 5Kw and Pro 2Kw and 5Kw. And Pro has some improvements. I think the computer, the ECM or whatever it's called, is in the Pro version is in its own housing. It's protected, so to protect it from the moisture and possibly the heat. I know that's at least one of the improvements in the Pro version. This company, even though it's new, their products, their diesel heaters look well done. And we paid in October 2021 $228 for the Pro 5Kw version on AliExpress. And they do have a warehouse in California, so it took only about a week to arrive from California to the East Coast here in North Carolina. Let's see. Let's open it up and see how it looks. Right? Okay, this is the fuel tank. It's got some hardware inside. So it has this mounting hardware, some screws, washers, a rubber gasket, and a nut for this. This would be, I don't know, to tap, maybe to put the fuel line in, to tap it for the fuel line. That's my guess. Yeah, this will go from the inside out. This will go from the inside out, and you get then the fuel hose here. Of course, I think it also arrives with a separate piece where it allows you to tap into the fuel tank of your vehicle, the diesel fuel tank, so the pump can suck the fuel from there instead of using this guy. And I see the cap right here. The cap, it has like a foam gasket in there. Alright. Some more protection. Okay. So we have in this Ziploc bag, we have what looks like a manual. This manual is just printed 2 pages. Here's steps, function of the display, settings, voltage. So the controller is designed to operate on both 12 volt and 24 volt, but the heater themselves is either 12 volt or 24 volt. And they didn't have a 24 volt heater. They're only selling 12 volt heaters in the US right now. So I had to buy the 12 volt one, even though our system in our skoolie is going to be 24 volt. But I'm going to put a converter anyway, so I'll be able to run it on 12 volts. Let's put that aside. So this is the wall controller. Now, interesting thing, this wall controller does not have a mounting plate for the wall. So you're gonna have to figure something out, maybe do like a Velcro or something, maybe magnetic, glue a piece of metal here and then magnetic on the walls, or you have to build your own mounting bracket for the wall. And these look like those, yeah, it's got a 3-prong connector, and over here we have a remote control. Okay, it's got off, on, minus, and plus. That's nice. Okay, what's in here? Oh, we got some plumbing, exhaust, intake, fuel line. Let me put this back in here. Okay, so we got a fuel line, a pretty lengthy fuel line. It's plastic, pretty thick plastic, so it's not just a flexible hose that can degrade easily, which some of the cheap Chinese heaters have. Okay, there we go. It's a fuel line that you can tap with the adapter to your existing fuel tank of the vehicle or to this plastic thing that it came with it. These are some kind of exhaust, the covers for the hot air ducts that go to whatever you want to heat up. It looks like it's got 2 of them. This is probably the inner side of it. Yeah, this goes in here. There's 2 of each. And you can rotate this to direct the hot air in whatever direction you want. Okay. We got one of the, this looks like an exhaust pipe. And there is a muffler. And muffler actually has inside, I can see like a metal mesh inside, and it's got something white outside of the mesh. And it kind of curves here. So it's not just empty on the inside, it actually has things in there. Okay, looks good. Let me move this. So this probably goes over here. There are some clamps. So this is the T. So you can put from the diesel heater, it goes in here, the duct goes in here, and then it splits in 2. And I see, there we go. We got these guys. Oh, there's more stuff in there. This is probably the air intake line. The other one was exhaust. This is intake, and you can expand it. So these are the hot air ducts. And they also expand. We got 2 of them. This is a filter for the intake, the air intake filter. That's my guess. I think it goes to this. So, and you can clamp it down with the clamps. And this filter, I assume you can open it up. Okay. And it's got a little sponge filter in there, just to get the big particles not to go inside the heater. Okay, still made of plastic. We got the wiring harness. This looks like a legitimate waterproof harness here. This is looks like a fuse box. A little fuse. Yeah, okay, yeah. There is a fuse in there. I can see it. So you see these connectors. You got this one as well. I don't know what gauge wire this is. The wires are insulated with some kind of a fabric that's like a tape, so it's wrapped around. Okay, so I know that the higher quality diesel heaters have a insulation that's more like a rubber, thick rubber that's also fireproof, and this might be fireproof too, but it's more thinner insulation around the wire. So yeah, but the connectors look like those waterproof connectors of a better quality, not cheap ones that some of the Chinese diesel heaters have. Okay, so let's see. This looks like a mounting plate for the diesel heater itself, and these are the holes, I assume, for the intake and exhaust. It's probably about 1/16 of an inch thick. Could be a little, could have been a little thicker. Okay. Now this is the part that you use to tap into the fuel tank of your vehicle, like if it's a skoolie or RV, and you put it up at the top, and you can cut this to length so it doesn't go at the bottom and doesn't accidentally get all the fuel out of your fuel tank. You can cut it up here so it only goes to maybe 1/3 or 1/4 of your fuel tank. And it's got a little gasket over here to seal it. Okay, it's nice. This would be the fuel pump. That's the part that clicks. Keeps clicking when it's running, especially when it's priming. It sounds louder. There we go, that's the fuel pump. Doesn't have any kind of brand name on there. It's got little covers here to protect the connectors here, the lines. And there is the power port. It just says 5Kw 12V 22ml, and then 21 dot, and then looks like something in Mandarin, and it's got an arrow here, so this side will go to the fuel tank and this side goes to the diesel heater. Okay, now there is a guy in I think in the UK that is making a silent fuel pumps for diesel heaters. I saw that on one of the review videos of one of the guys who did a review of this diesel heater. He also posted another video of that, talking about that silent fuel pump. and he has contact information for that other guy that makes the fuel pumps. So I'm gonna probably post that in the video. Okay. Over here we got the fuel pump, fuel filter. This is the fuel filter. There we go. It's got an arrow as well to know which side is the fuel tank, which side is the diesel heater. Looks alright. I mean, I don't know how the other diesel heaters, if they have the fuel pumps and how do they look, but it looks good. I mean, that's something that you can easily replace. And then in the same bag it has some fuel hoses, and these look like legitimate fuel hoses. As you can see, it's got that mesh fabric in the middle, so it's not some kind of a hose that would rot because of the fuel. It's proper fuel hose, and it's got clamps, and these aren't just those pinch clamps that you pinch and release. This actually has a little screw on it that you can tighten. So that's pretty nice. I think that might be better than some of the cheaper Chinese diesel heaters. We have another bag here with some more clamps. So this black piece, it's a rubber, that's to hold and mount the fuel pump. There we go. And then we got some larger clamps here for the ducts. We got this clamp. These are interesting. Looks like heavy duty clamps. Those are for the intake and exhaust pipes. So that looks good. We got some kind of a mounting bracket. Probably for the diesel heater. Let's see what else we got here. Just a bunch of screws and nuts and bolts and more clamps. One of these clamps. Actually, there's more than one. A couple of those clamps. Okay, let me put this back. There's the manual, the proper manual. So the other thing was maybe like a quick start guide or something, but this is a legitimate manual. It's got pages, pictures. I've heard one of the other people that reviewed it, they said the English language is good in this. It's got detailed instructions, looks like it. There you go, we got the electrical diagram, that's good. Tells you installation, the fuel pump should be under a certain angle. Okay, this is looking good. Seems like they've done a decent job with the manual. I know that some of those Chinese diesel heaters are notorious for having bad instructions or no instructions. Seems like Lavaner did a good job here. Oh, we got a few of these zip ties. Okay, that's good. A bundle of zip ties. It's like about 5 or 10 of them. That's nice. Alright. And over here is the diesel heater itself. I don't think there's anything else in here, but as you can see, it's packaged well, so it doesn't get damaged in the during transport. So that's good. I'm gonna move this box, and now we're gonna look at the diesel heater. This is the 5kW version Pro, 12 volts. I hope they start selling 24 volts in the future in the United States, because a lot of people are building 24 volt systems in their skoolies or RVs. Okay, there we go. Over here it says Lavaner Pro air heater, Lava 50 diesel, 5 kilowatt, electrical power 40 watts, voltage 12 volts. So the 2 kilowatt version is smaller, what I've heard. So, because a lot of times they sell you the 5 kilowatt version, but it's not really 5 kilowatt. It's the same size and everything the same as the 2. This one is should be bigger than the 2 kilowatt version. So over here at the bottom we got the intake and exhaust pipes, and there's some kind of a line. Is this the fuel line? That should be the fuel connector for the fuel line. It's got a nice cover to protect it there, that's good. And this got a gasket on it. So there's that mounting plate that will go like, what am I doing? I'll get it eventually. Hold on. There we go. This is where it will go. There we go. So these get mounted somewhere. And then you got this here. It has got some nuts in the bag over there. Okay, let's take that out. It's got this gasket over here. Right here, rubber gasket. Alright. Here's the connector. It's supposed to be that waterproof one, as you can see. Alright. There's that fan there, blow the hot air out, and I'm spinning it and it's not making any noise. It's not scraping on anything like some Chinese diesel heaters I've heard. Oh, let me actually open this up. Okay, it's got these two clamps over here to open it up. Okay, it's opening up. Alright, there's the lid. There is it. Now here is its computer, and you see how it is in its own housing. It's not just sitting out here to get all the heat. It's protected from the heat and the moisture somewhat. Okay, there is a temperature sensor right here. So there is one temperature sensor right directly here, but also one over here. And I assume this is to protect the ECM. If it gets to a certain temperature, too high, it would probably shut down the diesel heater so it doesn't damage the ECM or the computer or whatever it is. So that's a good feature. I can see that this fan was balanced. See, it's got little metal clips here to add to the weight. Some of them don't have that, but others do. So that was done to balance it. That's nice. I need an Allen wrench over here to be able to get the ECM out. This is looking good. A little rough edges here on this housing. You see this? I wish it's more smooth. Some of the parts, some of the areas are very smooth, like here, but over here it's a little rougher. So there's a little bit of quality issue there with that. Now I don't see on the inside anywhere pieces like hanging like some of those cheaper ones have. So machine work is there, or mold, whatever they're doing, however they're doing this, it's good. It's just at the very end, it's a little rough, it's not a smooth line. Okay, I gotta get an Allen wrench for this. Now look at this. So this is moving. Okay, it's moving because over here I don't have that mounting plate installed. Okay, so that's why it's the whole thing is moving. I can probably take it out. Okay. I was afraid for a second, but once everything is in place and you have a mounting plate, it will hold it in and the heater itself will not be moving. Let's open up, unscrew this one, and look at the brains of this diesel heater. Okay, you gotta pinch from both sides here to be able to get it out. Okay. And that one. Let me make sure I take a picture of where each connector goes in case they are matching in size. I don't want to mix them up. I think two of them, green and black, might be the same size. Okay. Here, alright, there we go. So we have the computer free. There it is. And actually the computer is all, what do you call that when you, it's like a wax for electronics so you can seal and protect them. It's poured in there, so you can't even see any of the components, and that is good. That's good for waterproofing and protecting the electronics from the heat. That's really nice. So I wonder if we can even open the lid, because it might be glued, unless it's only on the other side. Oh, wait. Let's see. Yeah, this looks to be glued with that epoxy resin. So I don't want to push it more. I don't need to take it out to open it because I'm happy with what I see. I'm glad that they coated it with that epoxy inside, so it's really waterproof and heat resistant more. Okay, well that's good. Okay. There's the fan. So this cable, the black is the fan motor power cable. And we got these. The two green ones, this is for the sensor. That's the temperature sensor right there. Okay. Can we get this guy out? Let's see, get this gasket off. Let's see, come on. Oh, there we go. Okay, it's got this kind of pad in each corner. And one of them fell out. So let me put this down here. Okay. So there it is. You can see it's got these pads over here, just probably some kind of spacer so it doesn't, so it's more tight inside. Okay. Alright. This plastic looks pretty sturdy. This housing. I might have to glue that one spacer there in the corner that's falling out. Alright, let me move that. There's the lid. Okay, there we go. There we go. Looks good. Just as I mentioned, few spots on the very top, on the edge, it's a little rough. It's not smooth everywhere. But other than that, inside it looks good. Casing, good housing. There's that temperature sensor. Okay. Let's see if we can get that sensor out. I know I can take it out, but I don't know if I should. Just mess with this. She move this. I don't want to mess with it, honestly. Put this back in. It's giving me a hard time going back. There we go. Click back in. So yeah, I'm not gonna mess with the sensor. And then this would probably be the power supply for the igniter. And it's supposed to use the Kyocera, or I think that's the brand. It's supposed to be like a higher quality brand of the igniter. Got a nice gasket here sealed. Okay, I can see it in there. Wiring looks good. I think this is called the glow plug, actually. Yeah. Kyocera glow plug. But I don't have the tools here to open it. So, I'm not gonna mess with it. Okay, here. So use the close-up. Here you can see the balance, little tabs. Looks good. I'm not going to take it apart anymore to look inside. This is enough. I'll just have to put everything together. Overall, I'm satisfied with it. It definitely looks like it's a higher quality than those standard diesel heaters that you buy for 100-something bucks. We're gonna see how it works once we get it going. I might just test it out before we install it in the bus. But yeah, I'm happy with it. It looks good. And I'm glad I got this one. let me know if you have any questions or opinions about this diesel heater. Thank you.